Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If that's something you like to listen to, we definitely welcome you to subscribe. If not, you could always just hit the like, share, or even just comment right down below. So for today's video, I have another credit union review. Now, these are starting to become some of my favorite videos. Just giving you some of this information on some of the lesser known financial institutions. I know a lot of videos are out on some of the big banks or larger credit unions, but I definitely like to shine some light on some of these other credit unions. So for today, I'm going to be covering DCU, otherwise known as Digital Credit Union. Now, they're based in the East Coast, mainly like the Northeast. So I believe they're headquartered in like Massachusetts, like the Boston area, but their membership is open nationwide. So I actually recently joined, and I'm just gonna give you guys a couple data points on the process. So it's actually pretty easy. Like I mentioned, there's open membership to any and everyone. So the easiest way, the way that I joined, there's a list of maybe like, 7 or 8 different organizations that you can join. I don't even remember the organization I joined, but it's in the drop down menu, other ways to become eligible. And I think it was like $10 donation. I could become a member. And then of course, with most credit unions, you're required to put, open up a savings account. And so the minimum was $5. I tried, so they do give you the option of using a credit card to make the deposit, but unfortunately, they don't allow you to pull as much off a credit card because I tested it out a little bit. Basically, they have like a little box where you enter how much you want to put into the savings. So at first, I was playing around with it because I have a couple 0% APR cards right now. So I figured if I could pull, a couple hundred or a couple thousand off, then I might utilize this opportunity. But whenever I would put like a high amount, like $1,000, then the credit card option would be grayed out. So they have it programmed depending on the amount you're trying to deposit, then that'll determine whether or not you could use a credit card or if you have to use like your bank account. So when I lowered it down, I didn't figure out what the sweet spot is in terms of, the max that they allow you to pull from a credit card. But all I could tell you is that it's something around $250 to $200, something like that. So not a lot of value in terms of pulling money off the credit card. But hey, I mean, if you could pull it off without paying a cash advance fee, then that's definitely beneficial. But the process is pretty intuitive. They do ask you to upload the back of your identification card or driver's license because their technology, it'll just scan the barcode from the picture and then it'll upload like your driver's license, number, expiration date, issue date, all of that. And if your driver's license address isn't up to date or it's like expired, well, if it's not up to date, you could manually change the address, but if it's expired, I think it might throw an error. But yeah, so you go through that process, read all the different disclosures they have, and then hit that submit button. They'll give you your savings account number, and I believe it takes a couple days. So your membership isn't confirmed until that deposit actually hits your savings account. So I did this yesterday. I haven't followed up to see what's going on with the account right now, but in terms of like the process, so it is a soft pull. So they're not hard pulling you for membership like AODFCU. So they do use the same, and this is something that I'm learning. A lot of the credit unions, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are using the FICO Equifax, the FICO 5, and they're pulling Equifax data. So if you had any success with AODFCU, just know that they're pulling the same exact report. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. But other than that, I mean, I looked at their credit products. Their credit products are not that appealing. They offer about three different personal credit cards. Nothing too special, like no introductory APR offers. And then like the interest rates on them aren't that competitive. So they have the DCU Visa Platinum and then the Visa Platinum Rewards. One of them just earns, the cashback rewards. They all come with zero annual fees, and they also have a secure credit card. I haven't confirmed whether or not that unsecures or not, but I think one of the products that's probably the most appealing, they do have an emergency loan product. Basically, you have to be a member for at least 90 days, and you could borrow between $200 and $1,000 with no credit check, no application fee, which is pretty decent. And then they have another tranche to that where if you've been a member for at least 180 days, then you could borrow up to $2,000 without a credit check. And this is a personal loan, so. But yeah, other than that, none of their financial products really stood out. So yeah, I think I'm probably just going to hold back on applying for any credit products here, anytime soon. I just wanted to sort of plant that seed. But if there's anyone who has any experience with DCU, I did get some feedback too. Another thing with DCU, and I'm not sure how accurate this information is, but from what I was told, in terms of their auto finances, which they do have some low rates on auto loans, but in terms of their auto loans, they will, in some cases, finance more than 100% of the auto loan. So, they might finance you, I've heard, as up to 120% of the value of the loan. So, I'm not sure what you would do with that if you get 120% financing on the auto loan. If I'm not even sure how that works, but that's one of the data points that I was able to gather. And another thing, they do have a checking account where there's no minimum monthly balance thresholds that you have to do. It's completely free. So that's another thing that you might want to check out if you want an account with basically no fees associated with. You could definitely check it out. But other than that, I'm not really going to put a recommendation on joining DCU. I'm still sort of gathering some data points. But in terms of like their financial products, like they do have term loans, but I didn't see any like line of credit. I didn't see, too many other appealing cards. So, I'm not going to vouch for DCU just yet. So, if you see this video, don't run over, apply to them immediately unless that's something you really want to do. And another thing too, actually, I'm not even going to get into this. I'm going to explain this in another video, but that's all I wanted to share with this video. If you're interested in how to build primary accounts, you can email me info@creditplug. And also too, for those of you who are interested, I am hosting a live Zoom webinar Sunday, May 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in this webinar, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into just how certain algorithms work for various different financial institutions. And, we're going to dive into how to position your credit profile to trigger these approvals so that, you align your credit profile with what that particular institution's underwriting criteria is looking for when you apply for various different credit products. So if that's something you're interested in attending, I'll post a link in the description. You guys could sign up, and if you're unable to make it, for those who do sign up, I will send out a recording of that webinar through YouTube, but through a private link, so you could access it if you're unable to attend in person. But yeah, other than that, that's all I wanted to do for this video. Until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.